Welcome to MMA Dogs. My name is Hector, and as always, I want to thank you for tuning in. A very special thank you to all our clients and all our supporters. UFC 194, baby. It's finally happening. Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. Weidman versus Rockhold. Souza versus Romero. Maia versus Nelson. So we have a stacked card. This is probably the most stacked card of the year. And if you think about what makes it stacked, obviously very good fighters. That's one aspect, but the other aspect is the matchups. The way that the fighters match up is key. It's crucial, and these guys match up great. So, very excited. Spent a lot of time breaking these fights down. So I don't want to spend too much time on the video because we're crunched for time here. But let's take a look at the main event. Let's take a look at Aldo versus McGregor first, and I'll just focus in on the key aspects, on the key things. So Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor. So the key part of the matchup here, the key aspect here in the matchup is Jose Aldo's kicks. So will Jose Aldo be able to, and he's even talked about it, break down McGregor with his kicks? And for McGregor, it's going to be, will he be fast enough to keep up with Jose Aldo? And will he be, how will he react? How will he handle those kicks? Now, if you take a look at their overall MMA game, Jose Aldo's MMA game is in my opinion, is at its peak. Jose Aldo isn't going to show us anything new. He's not going to show us anything that we are like, wow, this is something that's new and a new aspect of his game or a new evolution of his game. And so coming into this fight, I feel that I know exactly what I'm going to get out of Jose Aldo. With Conor McGregor, in my opinion, he has, believe it or not, he has the ability to improve even his skills even more so than they are already now. And to me, that is the X factor, so to speak. I believe he has a great camp with his head coach there, and I believe that he will be able to use those kicks that Aldo will be throwing his way to actually reverse the attack. So whatever attack Aldo's implementing there with his kicks, McGregor will be able to use those, not only defend those or find a way to negate those kicks, but rather turn it around on Aldo and use those kicks against him. And the reason I say this, the reason I have faith in this, is because ever since I saw Conor McGregor first really come on the scene, I realized that this guy is not only physically talented, but the most underrated part of his game is his mental game. The way that he approaches the fight game, the way that he prepares himself, his whole understanding of his body. And I've talked about this for a long time. This is not something new. It's not like I'm some Conor McGregor fanboy or anything like that. Actually, I'm neutral in this fight. If from just a strictly fan perspective, and in a human being perspective, yeah, although I would like to see him win. But that's not the perspective I'm taking. I'm taking the perspective of picking a winner here. And like I said, McGregor has shown to me that he has an understanding of timing. And I've talked about this for a long time, a very long time. His understanding of timing is really second to none. I mean, his understanding of timing, space, movement, and it sounds, not cliche, but like kind of like, oh, I can almost sound like a fan, but no, I've been talking about this, like I said, for a long time. So I am going to go with what my eyes show me, what I have seen, and I'm going with Conor McGregor here. So not only, like I said, because of this matchup, but rather just the understanding that he has to what's actually going on in the octagon. The attack, the defense, the timing, when to strike, when not to strike, just the overall understanding of the MMA game. To me, Conor McGregor, second to none. So, and that's why he's able to talk the way that he does. So I'm going with Conor McGregor by knockout in round 2. Now, with that being said, um, I'm not betting a farm on it. I think I'm only risking about 2 units on it. Let me take a look, double check here. Yeah, 2 units. So it's not something I'm overly confident with, and but I do think he will win. I do believe that. Um, and my concerns. The reason I'm only doing 2 units is because, well, first, there's not very much value on the bet. You're basically risking, um, risking. It's even money basically. It's plus 106, so you're not getting any added value or anything extreme like that. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is I do have a lot of respect for Jose Aldo in his camp. So to me, there's enough to risk 2 units on it. Maybe a little more, but I'm going to go with 2. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going to guarantee, because ultimately there is a guarantee on this, and if he doesn't win, if I don't profit on the night, then you get the next card for free, and I basically worked this whole card for free. So that's the reasoning behind it. But the pick, McGregor, second round knockout, and the bet will be McGregor. Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold. Wow, what a matchup. This one, at first I was looking at it, breaking it down, and I was thinking to myself, wow, Rockhold really has a chance. But I think Weidman has taken it to another level. I think Rockhold will come in here just as prepared as he was when he beat the crap out of Machida. But I think Weidman is going to show us even another level here. So I'm going with Weidman by decision. God, if I had to bet it, I would have to go with Weidman. But I'm not going to bet it. I do not recommend a bet because Rockhold is so dangerous. He's just so powerful, so strong. And I think here Weidman's going to try and he's not going to try. He's going to succeed in taking down Rockhold, slowing down the pace of the fight, and I think Weidman will get his hand raised. I am not confident about it. Like I said, this is one of those ones that I was mostly Rockhold up until probably the last 2 weeks, where I really started breaking down Weidman, and his preparedness level for this fight is just out of control. So Weidman for the win by decision. Do not bet. And don't cry if you bet Weidman and he loses, because I told you to do not bet. But the pick is Weidman. Souza versus Romero. Wow, what another very, very, very interesting fight. For this one, for me, is if Souza can get Romero down, he's going to win the fight. If the fight stays on its feet, then Romero should win the fight. But let's not underrate Souza's striking, and Souza knows that. So, man, this one's another one I've been going back and forth on, but ultimately I'm going to go with Souza. I am going to go with Souza. I think on the feet it's even enough, but if it does hit the ground, I think Souza is going to wrap him up like the alligator that he is and possibly submit him. So I'm going with Souza by decision. And this is another tough one because as a fan, like I said, I always distance myself when I do these, when I break down the fights from being a fan. But from a fan, I love Romero, one of my favorite fighters. But I think his time's up here. His run is over here, and I think Souza is going to bring him right back down to the real world. Demian Maia versus Gunnar Nelson. Wow, another really, really tough one. Jesus. I think the X factor here is that Maia feels an extra drive from him feeling disrespected. Maia, what has Maia shown us at 170 other than he is just legit? Whereas Gunnar Nelson, just a year ago he was fighting Rick Story, and man, that did not impress me one bit. So I got to go with Maia. I really do. Another one I've been going back and forth on. It's ultimately a do not bet, just like Souza, but I am gonna go with Maia. Max Holloway versus Jeremy Stephens. Got to go with Holloway here, no doubt about it. Holloway is just operating at such a high level right now. His striking, his submissions, he's ready for a title shot. So after Edgar, it should be Holloway coming up next. So Holloway, I love him here. I will be betting him in a round robin to minimize risk, and but Holloway for the win. Holloway will be the pick and the bet. Uriah Faber versus Frankie Saenz. Wow, Frankie Saenz in this particular matchup, I believe matches up very evenly with Uriah Faber. So I'll be picking Frankie Saenz to win by knockout in round 3, possibly a submission in round 3. And I've already bet him straight. So Frankie Saenz will be the pick and the bet. Tisha Torres versus the newcomer Jocelyn Jones-Layberger. Tisha Torres, man, I love watching her fight. I think she's very reliable, and I think she'll get the decision. She'll be the pick and the bet. Warley Alves versus Covington. Do not bet. Do not bet. I'm slightly leaning Covington, but it's a tough one. I think Covington, in the end, will use his wrestling, and that's what's going to get him the win. But Alves could submit him, so real careful with that one. Do not bet. Leonardo Santos versus Kevin Lee. There's no value here. Lee should win the fight, but I'm not going to risk 6-1 of my hard-earned dollars on Kevin Lee. But he should win. He should finish. The pick is Lee, but we'll see what happens there. Do not bet. Joe Proctor versus Magomed Mustaev. This is an interesting one where I think we'll see an improved Magomed. I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to put a small bet on him also. He'll be in the round robin. And Joe Proctor is just starts out too slow. So Magomed Mustaev, I think, can get him in round 1 by knockout. And at worst, he should win a decision, but it's small. It's a small bet on Magomed. Like I said, I think he should finish Joe Proctor. McDessie versus Medeiros is another tough one here because McDessie just got his jaw broken. Medeiros' striking defense is terrible. McDessie's striking is very slick, very smooth. I like it. I think he's taking his camp very seriously here. I think we'll see a prepared McDessie. So I got it with McDessie by submission, possibly a knockout in round 2. So that's a tough one. McDessie by knockout in round 2, decision, one of those. But definitely McDessie. Do not bet. And then Marshall Alexander Jr. versus Court McGee. This one was one of the ones that nearly made it for me as far as a bet goes. You can get a good price on Marshall. I think I think there is value. I'm not locked on it, sold on it at plus 160. But if you're leaning that way, it might be worth a small shot, a unit, maybe 2. Mostly a unit probably. But Marshall Alexander, I think will have an edge here. I think he'll come in prepared and he'll beat McGee. Ultimately, that's a do not bet. It won't be on the guaranteed picks or bets. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So 5 stars, there's none for UFC 194. 4 stars, there's none also, unfortunately. And then 3 stars, there's 5. Frankie Saenz at plus 540, Tisha Torres at minus 290, Magomed Mustaev at minus 340, Max Holloway at minus 550, and Conor McGregor at plus 106. So that does it for the picks. Now for the bets, the first bet is Frankie Saenz at plus 540, risking a unit to win 5.4. Saenz by submission plus 3050, so 3050, a tenth of a unit to win 3 units, so it's 3.05. Frankie Saenz wins by knockout, plus 2400, so that would be a tenth of a unit to win 2.40 units. The reason I did that rather than just inside the distance is because, believe it or not, there was more value to bet it that way. Mustaev wins inside the distance at plus 134, half a unit to win 0.67. Fifth bet Torres to points handicap minus 3.5 at plus 170, so 0.20 units to win 0.34. So as you can see, those are very, very, very small bets. 4 that I hand selected there that I think will cash or should cash. I divided the amount risked based on what I feel is the value on them, and then Frankie, like I said, I think he has a shot. I mean, it's not guaranteed, it's not a lock. That's why it's only a unit, and I'm not into giving my money away or anybody's money away, of course. And so that's the reason behind those. And then the next one is bet 6, 7, and 8 because it's a round robin of 2s. It's 3 parlays at 1.30 units each. Total bet is 3.90 units to win 2.42. So Tisha Torres at minus 290, Magomed Mustaev at minus 340, and Max Holloway at minus 550. The 9th bet, Conor McGregor at plus 106, 2 units to win 2.12. And the 10th bet, fight won't start round 4. So that's the Conor McGregor Aldo fight won't start round 4 at minus 131. 1.4 units to win 1.07. Grand total is risking 9.2 units to win 14.32, up to 14.9.7. Return on investment is 156 up to 163. The reason there's a variance on the possibility of winning is because if Science does win, it could be by knockout, it could be by submission, so that's what changes up the possible winning amount. So that does it for me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great time watching the fights, and I hope we cash all of our tickets. So, yeah, so that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later.